knows. I'm like,
Well, now I am. So you know.
it's the Sick Show.
Bring the mic over
It's
to you.
the Sick Show.
And,
It's the Sick
you
Show.
got headphones. It makes such a difference, Ashley. The headphones just pulls everything in, and you should be able to
Yeah,
see how it
gotcha.
just kind of
Yeah.
everything else is gone. So bring your mic up. So it's about I don't know, maybe a grapefruit. I tell everybody it's a softball, and they make fun of me and say, "Oh, softball, it's a big softball." Well, it is. I play. There's all kinds of softballs out there. So, um, yeah,
Hey, what's up? Let's do this thing.
let's do this. So what's been going on, man?
It's been a busy couple of years. Yeah. I didn't know I was going to buy a salon.
Yeah,
Yeah, that kind of came about very organically, unfortunately. I don't know, or fortunately. I'm friends with Leslie Woolman,
yeah,
who, is slinging the real estate with Tina Coons now,
yeah,
doing amazing.
and that's awesome.
She's too good at her job because I said, maybe in a couple of years, I'd like to start thinking maybe I could do my own thing. I've been at it for a while. And she was like, oh, well, what about this property? I said, it's not even for sale. She goes, oh, no, Tina owns it.
Oh my gosh.
I said, oh, gosh, what? And 26 days later, I was
26 days from.
okay. So I went and saw it while my husband was out on a business trip to St. Louis.
Okay.
And so he was not around. She said, hey, you want to go look at it? I said,
Yeah,
sure.
I get it. Yeah.
I do not have a business plan.
Yeah.
I don't have funding. I don't have any pre-approvals for loans. I haven't talked to anything about SBI loans or anything. I have nothing. I have me working.
Yeah.
And so we went and looked at it, and I was like, yeah, let's do this. And so I was talking to a friend of mine, and she's like, what's going on with this? And I said, well, I got to go to SBI. I need 10%, blah, 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 business loans. And, we just were brainstorming, and I got with somebody else, and they were like, I'll float you the loan. So there it was.
Boy, there was a ding right in there real
Yeah.
faintly. What
I'm gonna get
perfect. No, that was perfect timing. It was like ding.
Ding,
There it was.
Heaven
That's
opened
so
up.
bizarre. Isn't that so
No,
funny?
I'm flipping my watch off here. That's done. But so I had the funding. So I formed an LLC. I wrote a business plan because this person was like, I'm going to give it to you, but I need a business plan with market analysis, a 5-year goal. What do you want to do?
Wow.
What space are you going to be in? So I wrote a business plan, got my LLC, talked to my tax lady. My husband, had came home through all of this, and I said, hey, I'm going to buy a salon. And he was like,
Hey.
because this is kind of how I do things,
No, I totally get
we
it.
go look at a house, we're buying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just know. I'm just a very split second decision maker. I don't really
Yeah.
let grass grow. If I think it's good, we're doing it. And sometimes I've had to pay the piper, but usually it works out for me. I have pretty good instinct. So I did that. And it was quick
How
because
long ago was this?
we celebrated a year in September.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew it'd been
Middle
right
of
around a year.
September.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got in. I thought it's going to be me and Madison Kemp because she's the only one that was like, yeah, what are you doing? Don't leave me behind. I got to come with you.
Yeah.
We yuck it up all day. So yeah. So I was like, okay. So there's me and her. There were a couple other gals that worked there. It didn't end up panning out. They moved on to a better situation for them.
Sure.
But I had made a list of people that I'd want to work with.
Yeah.
And they were working other places, but I make lists compulsively.
Yeah.
And I'd made these lists, and at the top of my list was Maudlin Messersmith. I don't know if you know this
I love
lady.
modeling.
Gosh.
Love modeling.
And it's hearts and
Love modeling.
stars and
So interestingly enough, I knew Devin before I knew modeling.
okay.
And Modeling's a Blackford County gal, and her family was or is.
Yeah.
I met Devin when I worked at Overhead Door back
Oh,
in the
so-
early '90s.
Don't date us like this that we remember overhead door.
Oh yeah, listen, I know who I am. Yeah. these gray hairs, man. If there was like you know what you need to market is some sort of like, um, I don't know, some sort of. Oh, I guess it's already out there. There's a for him hair thing.
Oh yeah, like just for men, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
could do colorization. I don't think men realize they can go get their hair done.
I mean, they can, but honestly, so and unfortunately, it's a stereotype. But like, dudes with gray hair, hot. Women with gray hair, it
Thanks.
doesn't hit the same.
I don't know. I don't
No, no,
know.
no. Okay,
I've,
there are a couple of. Yeah, they're not common. They're unicorns. Okay, they're
right
not.
now, Ashley's like, "Don't get in on my business,
Don't get
buddy.
on my
Get out."
business.
They
No,
got to keep their hair colored.
no. There's been a few women that I've been like, you're so close.
Yeah,
Like, just do it.
yeah.
Honestly,
Go for
because
it.
well, and I'm not trying to make a quick buck off them either. They're still gonna come back for haircuts.
Well, yeah, and you can
Yeah,
clean it up a little bit too.
yeah,
Because I mean, gray hair. My dad had great gray hair.
yeah.
My dad had an incredible head of hair,
Your
and
dad was a good looking dude,
man,
bro.
he was.
He was
And
just a handsome guy.
his hair, I don't remember him without gray hair
Yeah.
ever. And my brothers, their hair is primarily gray at this point, and I'm wondering, and mine started turning when I turned 17. I
Yeah.
found my
I
first
was
gray
an
hair,
18-year-old with the gray hair. Like,
right?
what in the world is going on
Right
here?
in the middle. I look in the mirror the day after my 17th birthday, and there that sucker is standing straight up, straight as an arrow, and I'm like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
I'm an old man.
You're getting ready to graduate.
Yeah,
It's adulthood. You
that's
just
it.
got to find one.
So like you're just hanging out with Leslie, and next thing you know,
And then there it is. And then so Maudlin called me and was just like, "Are you buying a salon? Because you know how this
oh
small
sure, yeah,
towns. It's
man,
like everybody knows your business before you do.
that's
Probably
it.
like you're like thinking about something, and somebody's like, hey, guess what I heard? So yeah, she was like, are you and whatever, and she just was like, she was really happy where she was at, but I think it was gonna get like a little bit more crowded for her than I like. She really like was like, oh, I don't know about the space,
Yeah,
and I don't know. We just started talking, and she just was like, I feel like God is just telling me to go to your salon.
uh-huh.
And I got kind of goosebumps because I was like, that is incredible.
God's talking about
God
me.
is talking about me.
Wait a minute, God's talking about me.
Not sending me downstairs
That's
either. So that's
right.
good. Like, actually, it's in a positive light, but
And it could have been a God was modeling. Please,
help her.
please,
Help her.
she
Gosh, she's
needs
going to
you.
be in there
She
by
needs you.
herself trying to pay these bills, bro. You got to go
She
help
needs you.
her. So, yeah, so Maudlin jumped on board, and I just, it just kind of, it just kind of went. And then Lizzie came. Um, we had a gal that was working that was just working until her salon was fixed. So we knew that was going to be a transient thing. Um, I didn't even know I was going to get into the aesthetic space, and I now have an esthetician. And she's a sweet little girl. They're all young. I'm like,
Yeah.
me and Maudlin are shop mommies.
Isn't that cool though? I
Yeah,
mean, I think
yeah.
it's cool to have that mix.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, they keep me fresh because
right.
I feel like I could get real stale.
You can.
Yeah,
You can.
they are. Maddie's always like, I'm surprised by like how much you know, and I'm like, I'm surrounded by you guys.
Yeah.
Like that's how I keep up.
Yeah.
Not my kids, because my kids solidly don't want to tell me anything. They're like, you're an
That's
idiot.
how they roll.
Yeah, we're not
That's how they
talking to
roll.
you today.
Hey, if you want to get comfortable, you almost look like if you're
Oh
not
no,
comfortable.
like
Okay,
I
just
have
want to
like
make
a
sure.
frantic kind
Are
of.
you that? Are you
I'm a
that
tensed
person?
up
All
energy.
right, just
Yeah,
checking because there's times when I'm like, "What's happening?"
yeah. No,
But I just want to make sure.
no.
Just
Like,
know that
do you
that
want me to lay down? Do you
no,
feel
however,
uncomfortable?
no, however you
Does this
feel, like
does this make you feel
whatever, dude.
better?
I just want to make
I
sure
feel
you
like
know
I'm
that
laying
mic
down.
will move all over the place. I've had that mic in the middle of the floor. I mean, it'll move,
Yeah,
so
no, I
you're
felt like
comfortable.
I was laying in bed. Just
Well, that is, dude.
that's
We
a
went
this is a lazy
we went to
chair.
Dayton to get that chair. I'd been looking for a leather chair for months, actually years.
Yeah,
I passed up on one in Madison. Gosh, it must have been in 21, maybe 20.
you're on the hunt for a specific
I
chair for this long.
very yes.
I admire your
I wanted
dedication to the
that
leather
collar,
chair.
swivel, nail heads. I wanted very
Oh,
specific
I love
things.
it. If you know what you know, you
And
know.
and then
Like,
I ended up with that one and the two we have downstairs that aren't swivel, but boy, they're comfy, man. And
yeah,
they're
I
all
saw them when
Pottery
I
Barn.
passed by.
They're all Pottery Barn.
Oh, so
Like,
it's gonna
so
last
they're gonna
for
last.
120 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pottery Barn will outlast you.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
ones downstairs I actually had to dye. They were orange when I got them.
Oh, are
And
you into the furniture business now too?
well,
I mean, you
I
are
am.
actually,
Well,
but now you're gonna become an artisan. Like,
there is a table in my garage right now I picked up off the curb um, back in the fall
I
for
love it.
free.
Projects.
Pottery Barn table as well. That thing
What did
is
you do? Flip it over in the dumpster? Or you like, or did
no.
you just take a chance? You rolled the dice.
No, I was going to visit an account over in Anderson. It was a school, and I'm waiting on the morning drop-off line to stop. The morning drop-off line sucks. Every school except for Madison Junior High from 2019 to
I
2021
wonder why.
because I was there. Um, and I was out
I
there doing
knew, I knew it, I knew
cartwheels,
it, I
yelling
knew
at
it.
kids,
Shameless
opening
plug,
doors,
shameless plug.
standing in front of cars, going, "Whoa, you
You
gotta
were
get off
out
your
there
phone,
directing
mom."
traffic
I
like you
was
were
like,
in New York City.
for
Yeah.
real. Like they
No,
gave me like I had a parent give me lights. Like
and we're like keep broaching off this topic, but like let me just tell you, I live down by the elementary here in town,
yeah. Oh yeah,
and
you
I'm
do.
not sure what these people do, but I think that they have a scheduled lunch that
It's
is 3 hours long because they start lining up
it's so bizarre.
at like 1:30.
What are they doing?
What are you doing? Are you watching podcasts? Are you or listening to podcasts? Are you watching Gossip Girl?
Right.
What are you doing?
Maybe they work from home and it's like, hey, I don't want to get in the middle of this, Google
Dude,
Meet.
it goes all
You
the
know,
way down Mulberry Street.
it's so nuts,
It's
dude.
I avoid it. I go the other
You
way.
have
I'm
to.
like, I don't know what y'all are doing.
You have to.
Yeah.
So anywho,
Yeah.
uh, so yeah, I mean, so I got to get back to this 26 days. So
Oh yeah.
in this 26 days, I can't stop thinking about in 26 days, you developed a business plan, arranged for financing, um, looked at a so wait, talk to Leslie, developed went and looked at this building. Probably
Yeah.
not day one. Was that
It was day 2.
okay? So within 26 days,
It was fast
that is
because
fast. You didn't
well,
have a business plan sitting around.
no.
Where'd you find it? I mean, did you like
No, I
Google and
made one.
did you like Google?
I googled like the bones of a business plan.
Yeah,
What do you need? Market analysis, projections, you know, how many employees are you looking at? Like what kind of services are you going to offer? Uh, kind of what your income is going to be, how you're going to pay yourself, like what are you going to put in slush for the business? A year goal, a 5-year goal, a
hmm
10-year goal, a logo. I had to
that's so.
I had to get a name.
Yeah.
I didn't have a freaking name.
Where'd you come up with Veridian?
Okay. So nobody can say it. One, if
Did
they're
I say
like,
it wrong?
what is this? No, Veridian's right
Okay.
because it's a color.
Yeah.
Nobody can spell it for sure because I put a little twist on it. So Veridian is green.
Okay.
It's this very specific color of green. It's kind of an oxidative color. Like when copper oxidizes, it kind of turns like a green, like a really bluey
Sure.
green. It's my favorite color. So it was
Makes
easy.
sense,
It
right?
was easy. I was going through a bunch of dumb stuff, like, you know, like I don't even want. No, we're not even going to go there. There were a lot of things that were thrown out to
Oh,
me,
sure.
and I said, no, that's dumb. That's really dumb. I can't because I couldn't. I had to be able to say it without laughing. You know, like I had to be taken seriously to some extent. So I was like, it can't be so stupid that I can't tell people what my business name is.
Right.
And is it going to date?
Right.
Is it trendy now? But like, I'm gonna look like emo kid, and or something,
No, I get it.
something silly.
Yeah.
So the Veridian was just me playing around, like what sounds cool, what kind of feels different.
Had you spent time like, and I say this because we were talking before we started recording that I've been thinking about my podcast for a couple of years,
Oh yeah,
and the names have changed over time, but it's all involved having my name somewhere in it. I've listened to enough people to know that I wanted my name involved in it because when we think about successful brands, they have a name in Chevrolet,
an identity.
Dodge,
Yeah,
that person's name was a part of it.
yeah.
And specifically with podcasts, the Joe Rogan show or the Joe Rogan experience is the
I would say up top tier.
it is
Yeah,
it is
everybody
the
knows who
top.
Joe Rogan is.
So I was
I
thinking
mean,
about that, and at one point it was the real Mr. Schick show. Boy, that's a
yeah,
mouthful.
it's too long.
And but because I'd already had all my my social media stuff was aimed towards the real Mr. Schick for quite a
So there
while.
you were like, is that? No, I definitely didn't want my last name in it. I thought about a play on bee
Yeah.
because my last name is
Yeah.
Beeman, like an actual bee, a
Yep.
beehive, bee, something.
It becomes a little hokey at that point,
God, it
though.
gets really cheesy, and
Yeah,
I
it sounds
just,
like a sixth grade science teacher.
yeah, yeah, it gets real sad.
Be kind. Be
Bee,
nice. Yeah.
and then what are we gonna do? Like have a bunch of like cheesy come to the beehive and
Right.
we'll
Absolutely.
beehive you.
No, I
I
love
don't
it.
know. It's
No,
stupid.
I love
So
the name of it. I think it's really cool. I think it is it creates it's not
it's an
time oriented.
identity.
It really is, and it should be.
Yeah.
It
Because
should
I'm
be.
branding myself. It's easy in small town salons. And listen, no shade. I've worked with the best of the best throughout my hairstyling career.
Yeah.
It's just hard because I feel like I'm so weird that I wanted something that when you walked in, you definitely felt like I created it, I've curated it, and it is my brain.
Gotcha.
Like, I didn't want it to feel cookie cutter. I
Hmm.
don't know. I was just like, I always tell people, like, I'm trying to, when you walk into the salon, I want you to feel like you're not in Hartford City. I want you to feel like you could be in a bigger city or
Sure.
in a different place, or out in the woods. I don't know, like somewhere
No, I get it.
else,
Yeah, I love
not
it.
in Hartford City, because I feel like you can just pigeonhole yourself into doing small town hair,
Yep.
small town vibe, small town gossip, small town prices. And like, I think you're really setting yourself up to be limiting. And I just never wanted to be limited.
I like it.
So,
So back to is this something you'd been thinking about for quite some
no,
time, or
no.
for real?
Well,
I'm not gonna lie.
I think the end goal was always maybe to own something, but
Okay.
then it's like, if you own it, you own it, and you all
Absolutely.
the problems.
That's
You don't just own the
it might
like,
say Veridian on the sign, but
yay,
it's
yeah, and everyone's
Ashlee
like, oh
inside.
wow, look at her killing it. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, there's a heating and cooling guy at my salon, so let's not talk about that. Fingers
It's
crossed.
like the ducks swimming in the pond. You know, their
Yeah.
little feet are just trucking,
Oh, and they look so smooth.
and they're just
They look
chilling.
like nonchalant, but their
Yeah.
feet are freaking
Right.
paddling, bro.
Well, that's the way it's
They can't
supposed to
stop.
look. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I think people, if I hear one more time, like honestly, please don't ever say this to me. Must be nice, man. Having a salon
Yeah.
must be nice.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Why not? I mean,
it's nice. It's nice. But did you see that I was working 80 hours this week?
That's
Like it's
Well, I see your lights on quite a bit, and I see
yeah.
a car there in front of that place pretty
Mm.
much every time I drive by, except early mornings. You know, it's
I got
rare,
these kids. I
but
got these dogs.
right.
I got this life. I got it.
Well, you do have to have your life in there.
Yeah. No,
And
I
I
like to
think
go
over time
home
you're gonna find
occasionally.
you'll find that work-life balance that works for you. But
I think my back will go out.
you think so?
Yeah, I think one day I'll just be
Is
paralyzed
that
and
a
I won't.
common thing with hairdressers?
Well,
And I hate to use the word hairdresser because I
no,
don't know if that's a proper
it's
term or
fine.
not.
You can call me a hairdresser. You can call me a hairstylist. You can call me a
A
wizard.
hair professional.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm good.
Uh,
Whatever you want to
what
call
would
me.
it be? A beauty special? What is a good term
I
nowadays?
actually hate all these stupid
I
things that
know,
people
right?
try to make themselves seem
I'm
more
not trying
important
to
than they
label
really
you.
are. They're not that important.
My card says furniture specialist. Dude, if I'm a specialist right now, there's a real problem
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
specialization of
But do you
furniture.
think sometimes people try to make themselves sound so
Oh,
fancy?
sure.
And it's like,
Yeah.
in a way, I'm almost Benjamin Buttoning my life. Like, I just want to go backwards. Like, I'm just
Yeah.
reverse engineering my
I like
entire
it. I
creation.
like it.
So I'm just a hairdresser, man.
All right.
I'm just a hairstylist.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, you're pretty good at it.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy a fair amount of success. I always say, like, I'm an average hairstylist that, like, absolutely loves her clients.
Yeah.
Like, it's really like the experience. I think you can be mid, you can be just okay. But if you make people feel like they're it. Like you
Hmm.
really care about them and not just feel it, but like you have to believe it. You have to buy into it. Like when my people come in, I'm all in. I'm all in. You're 100% my focus. I
Yeah.
want to make you look great. I'm really bad at lying, so I'm not going to compliment something that I don't like. I'm just like, I can't, I'm not lying to you, but I do. If you hear something from me, it's honest.
Yeah.
And I think that that genuine kind of feeling and that like connection has landed me the ability to be successful in a small town.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you think that translates elsewhere though? Because what I hear from you is that you're building relationship with your clientels,
Relationship is everything.
isn't it? I
It
mean,
is everything. I mean, it's not like marketing because I feel like marketing and building
very different,
relationships are different.
but
They're
connected in
connected.
so many
They're
ways.
connected, but marketing is gimmicky.
Yeah. Yeah. When you do it properly, when you do it
You don't even
properly,
have to market yourself really
like
if you're good.
I've had so many people ask me, what do you do? That I had to create a little flyer.
Let me show you.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's like, I can't remember all the stuff that I do. So now I took this and it's all laminated
Yeah.
because they can't wad up. And I
Right.
wanted it thick enough lamination where you couldn't just chuck it and
We're
feel
not
good
throwing
about
that
it.
away, buddy. We're
Right.
gonna have to
So,
cut that up.
so it's partway marketing, but when I hand this off, I don't just go, here's what I do. And
Yeah.
you know,
You're like, I can't remember anything.
that's
Well,
exactly it.
hi there,
Hey, what's
friends.
happening? Yeah, it's one of those things where I've realized that is nothing but, and I call it, this is just a snapshot,
Yeah.
and I just want to make it easy for you.
Yeah.
And it's
Well, and
about that
also talking
relationship.
about yourself ad nauseum is just the worst.
Listen, I've got
It's the
40,
worst.
almost 80 hours of me talking
No, no, no,
recorded
no,
at
no.
this
Listen,
point.
talking for entertainment purposes. I listen. I can talk for entertainment purposes forever. I'm a talker. But like if you would say, "Tell me everything about yourself."
Yeah,
I would start to feel very uncomfortable
it,
about 2 minutes in.
it does become
Because
uncomfortable.
it
And
gets a little uncomfortable.
yeah, it's job interviews.
Oh, I love job. You don't okay.
Oh,
I
listen,
actually really
that's the
like job
problem.
interviews
I love
because
job interviews.
I want to blow their minds
That's
because
it.
I'm going to say some outrageous things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my lines became, and it did become a line
Yeah.
because I was practiced at it. I'd
Yeah.
been through many job interviews. Was listen, there's a huge difference between confidence and cockiness,
Yeah.
and I'm confident in what I do. That's because I know what I'm good at, but I also know what I'm not
Not
good
good
at.
at. Yes.
And I'm not afraid to say that, and I'm not afraid to say, hey, that's not what I'm good at.
I
Uh,
think that's almost sometimes more important
it is.
because like you put all this stuff in a resume or even like you like people come in to get their hair done and they'll be like, do you do this? No,
Right.
I don't.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
don't. I
why?
could say that I did and I
What
could try.
what happens
It
is
wouldn't translate
that's
well.
exactly it, because then all of a sudden the brand you're trying, the Ashley Veridian brand you're trying to build, by you just going, yeah, I'll do what I'm not good at, but
It's
I'm
a
not
house
good
of
at.
cards and it's going to fall.
It is.
Yeah.
And every time you do someone's hair, that's your business card,
Yeah.
and they're walking around with it. And if
Yes.
they're not happy with it, if somebody else looks like, who did that? Oh, your hair. How's your? Oh my gosh, you got your hair done. How's that? Oh my
Who
gosh,
did
that looks
that?
great. Who did that?
Hmm.
Never
Yep.
going there.
Never,
I
ever,
mean, that's your
ever
business
going
card,
there.
literally. That is your laminated, what do I
The
do
word of
well?
mouth, the
It is.
relationship. And
Yeah.
that is like the key to everything in any business is like building authentic connection.
Hmm.
That is really where you're going to be more successful because honestly, most people know me around town. I'm loud. I have definite
You
opinions
are?
about things.
You have opinions?
Just a couple, maybe one or two, but no, I have a polarizing personality. It's love or despise.
Okay.
Okay, there's no
I
there's
guess
no
I'm just so middle that I
you're middle.
I am so middle.
You think so?
Oh,
I
I'm
don't feel
middle.
like you're
You
middle.
don't think I'm middle?
No,
Oh
I
man.
think you're likable, but that doesn't mean you're middle.
I don't know. Like, those silly online tests you take where it's like,
Yeah.
I can totally understand someone who is so, and I hate using left, right. And I'm not using them in
Yeah. No,
political.
you're fine. I
Yeah,
love to talk about politics too because I
well,
hate
we're not
everything.
talking politics on my show.
No,
But
I know. I'm just saying,
but
like, I
because
will because I don't care.
I'm so damn middle
Yeah.
that I'm gonna piss everyone off.
Yes.
And I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to say, hey, look, here's where I'm at. But I'm able to see, like, and I think about it as a teacher. As a teacher, I was able to see that kid that is having an absolute shit day, and they're freaking out. And they're freaking out on you, the teacher, because their mom woke up and took a hit of heroin.
Right.
You know, they
Yeah.
got high this morning before they took
Yeah.
them to school and dropped them off. And they come to school and it's the only safe place. And when they get there, they're trusting you to be that person and you're freaking out on them and they're going to freak out back or whatever. They just freaked out on,
And then
you
on the
know,
other end, you have the
info
Stepford
overshare.
wife kids,
Right.
Yeah.
And so I totally get that kid needs me
Yeah.
just as much as the Stepford wife kid
Yeah.
that has never seen freak out before.
Do you feel like that's middle or do you feel like that's employing ultimate empathy? I love to I've been trying because sometimes things make me really angry, and I've been trying to do this thing where I put myself not in their shoes, not in their shoes, but like if someone comes at me on the internet, say, I used to like to fight on the internet, dude. I was a keyboard warrior, bro. I would be out there, I'm gonna get them.
I never
I'm
noticed.
gonna destroy them with facts and logic,
You can't do that.
No, and so anymore, it's like I'm just like, man, what in the world is happening to them? What is going on that they feel like they have to? Now, I will still
Right.
spice it up if you're being outrageous, but like most of the time, if somebody comes at me with something, I'm just like, what's going on in your life? And I don't think I'm a middle at all. I am full tilt one way.
I guess I say middle because, and maybe
Are you
it's,
adaptable?
well, I'm damn adaptable.
Adaptability is different than being mediocre middle.
And
Middle's
I
so
don't think
whitewashed. I hate the middle,
think
man.
middle is being mediocre or whitewashed. I don't see it that way.
You just think you just can just blend in like a chameleon?
Nope,
'Cause,
nope,
like,
not.
how would it be if you had two friends that had super opposing viewpoints? It's like this in the salon sometimes, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you'll have a client in there
Yeah.
that's like,
Oh, my dad and my brother. My dad and my brother could not get along.
yeah,
And I stepped in and said, "Hey, you know," and this is what I said to my brother Bill. I said, "Have you ever just tried to say, hey, I'm willing to own my part of it and apologize for the
right.
things that I'm not proud of
Yeah,
if you're willing to do the same."
yeah.
And, you know, I went to my brother and approached him with that and said, "Hey, give that a shot." And I did that as a collector as well. So as a collector, I'd be out in the field knocking on doors. I'm the one going to see customer face to face, whereas the collector that was on the phone with him was just
They
ripping
don't
ass.
care.
Yeah, they're
They
just
don't
ripping ass
care.
and they'll get
Yeah.
them as pissed off as possible. And then I'm the one that shows up to the door with the same company logo on his shirt. And I'm like, "Hey, let's give Rafa a call and see if we can get this fixed." And I call Rafa and say, "Hey man, why don't you just say, hey, why don't we just start today and start over? Why
But
don't
I
we put
feel
the
like,
past behind us and or not totally behind us?
yeah.
Let's recognize that there's a past here, but let's say, hey, I've done some things that I'm not proud of. Let's move forward. Let's move forward because we both had the same goal."
But like if you have an opinion about something, and I feel like you have opinions, and you'll bring them out there every once in a while, but I feel like you can do it where you're like, this is just my opinion,
Yeah.
and you don't have to agree with it.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
not,
asking you
there's
to
no
agree with
venom.
it.
I don't come venomous.
It's not hot. It's not a
Yeah.
hot take. Like I'm not like, and I always tell people like, for me, and especially being in the like public eye, is like, I'm not asking you to join my cult.
Right.
Like I'm not. I don't
Right.
want everyone subscribed, because I have my own way of thinking, and I really love to hear other people's perspectives on things,
Sure.
because I think that has
Oh,
helped me
man.
develop like
So much to
being
learn.
able to listen to someone, and especially like sitting down in the salon, we have these deep conversations, and I am not afraid of anything. When I went to
Yeah.
school, it was like, you don't talk about politics, you
Yeah.
don't talk about religion,
Yeah.
you don't talk about any of that. You don't talk about money, you don't talk about shit.
Right.
You just sit there and do their hair and shut up. And I'm like, no. No, just no. No, it's not me.
Yeah.
It's not me. When I was a nurse, I didn't talk about that. I was
Sure.
employed by a corporation.
That's right.
Yeah, we have a line that we have to hold. And the line is personal business is personal business. But in the salon, I say, how do you feel about this? And I'll bring something up. And I'm just like, I know that you have a different opinion than me.
Sure.
I know your politics, or I know your religious stance, or I know this or that. How'd you get there?
Mm-hmm.
How'd you get there?
I wonder sometimes if for me, especially when it comes to politics. I was very practiced as a teacher and as a principal. I didn't play politics,
Yeah.
but I don't know that I ever. Well, I have. My dad and I did not see
You
eye
guys
to
were not
eye.
the same?
No, we
No.
didn't see eye to eye. And you would think people coming out of the same household would see
No.
things, but they don't. They don't
No.
see things the same way. But which kind of brings me around. And I wanted to know. I mean,
Oh, yeah, sorry. We've gotten way this
well,
is just a
no, you know what?
weird hour of our time,
This is
sir.
exactly what happens here. This is the Schick
Yeah.
Show
Yeah.
at its core. It's two people having a real conversation about
Yeah.
life, and those are real life things. But more than anything, here's what I want to get across today. Here's why I wanted you to come in. I see someone who has grabbed a hold of their life and owned it and said, you know what, I'm going this direction,
Dude.
dude.
Unapologetically full tilt.
And
Full tilt. I don't care. I'm doing it.
I guess I want people to understand you weren't given any of this.
Oh man. Are we are we gonna do
I
this?
would love
Do
to
you
do
want to
this.
do
I would
it?
love to do this.
Man, let's just go
And here's
back.
what's interesting. I
Let's
found
take
out
it back.
yesterday or the day before that we had a connection that I didn't know we had, and I can't wait to tell that story.
We're almost
So,
connected on both sides.
well, interestingly enough,
Family wise.
and then on another level, I worked with someone, and I have a story about him that I want to share, but I
Okay.
don't want to bring it up.
Okay.
I want it to come naturally.
All
Okay,
right.
so I'm
Okay.
hoping it happens.
So
If it doesn't, it won't.
let's do this. I come from humble beginnings. Are we going to start this? We're going to get deep.
Let's go.
We're going to get deep. It's fine. I love my story. And I tell my story to kids a lot.
I think it's
Because
important.
I was the kid that needed that story
That's it.
so bad. So I started humble beginnings. If anybody around town knows my family, it's it's a big one. It's a big story.
Mom and dad.
Mom and dad not together.
Okay.
Divorced when I was younger. There was a lot of abuse on both sides to each other. There was, drinking, drugs, the whole thing. Like, I mean, there's so many people that have it so much worse than me that I'm not like
I
out
get
here
it.
going
Yep.
chaos and disorder, but it was not good.
Yeah.
There was a solid amount of neglect and things. I mean, it just was what it was.
Did you have a relationship with both your parents?
I did. My mom and I are just, I always say, like, I'm the white sheep in a black sheep family.
I know
I'm like
someone
the
just
only
like
good
that.
one.
Oh man.
I mean, my grandparents are gold, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like salt of the earth. Like only had one kid, and they're just like looking at my mom, like, where did we go wrong? Like, and my mom's just a wild child.
Yeah.
She's just a wild one. She's always wild,
Yeah.
and it just didn't translate well into parenting.
Okay.
So I think that you can love something, and you can not be good at taking care of it.
Sure.
My mom loves us with everything in her heart. She's just not great at taking care of us. Mental illness, substance abuse, whatever.
Sure.
Just the path got muddy.
Substance abuse meaning like was it self-medicating in some way or was it
Yeah,
just
I mean, I think anybody, and I talk a lot about mental health because I got like the short end of the stick genetically. My dad's just like the most depressed human being you could ever see in your life. Like he's just pitiful, like Eeyore. And then my mom's just crazy.
Okay.
She really is. It's like Crazy Brenda. Everybody knows Crazy Brenda, right? Like she's a good time. You're solidly having a good time with Crazy Brenda.
Okay.
But like when you're Crazy Brenda's daughter, that's a different row to hoe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's a little different. So I always felt like very adult my
Okay.
whole life. Like I was just very adult. And so fast forward, lots of icky stuff. Just I mean, it all worked out. I tell kids all the time when they're having a rough time, I'll say, like, my success rate is 100%. I've never not made it through.
Yeah.
So I'm killing it.
Yeah.
I'm at 100%.
Hmm.
So everything, and another little thing I tell them, and I'm sure the kids are like, "Oh my God, Mrs. Beeman, stop saying this." But it's like I always tell them too, like this seems monumental, like what you're going through right now, and I'm not trying to negate what you're going through, but it's
Right.
like a very small speck in your very long life.
Sure. Oh my God. I talk about the tick turd piece of life that we are tick turds in the grand scheme of things.
Right. It's just so small.
Yeah.
And this problem, your life is very small, and the problem is even smaller.
Right.
So really in 5 years, in 10 years, this is going to shape you somehow. and you're going to get over it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, fast forward through just like gross things. I obviously didn't have it great.
Mm-hmm.
I made a few attempts at unaliving myself. I'm not good at it, so I stopped.
Good.
You do it a
I'm
couple
glad.
of times and you're like, I suck at this. So you're like, I'm going to stop doing this. Like, this is dumb.
I'm asking you from a counselor
Yeah, no, you're
perspective.
good.
Was that something where it was I wanted to end this, or was it more of a please someone recognize that I'm hurting?
Oh, I mean, I think it's always a cry for help, just a little bit.
Sure.
But then at some point it got desperate where it was like, I don't even like this.
Yeah.
I don't like this. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm just exhausted.
Sure.
I'm just exhausted. Like this is like too much.
Sure.
This chaos is just too much. Wouldn't it just be easier? Wouldn't it just be easier just to be done?
Hmm.
You know, but it wasn't easy. It wasn't easier.
Sure.
It was really hard because it didn't work because I'm not good at it. So I quit doing it solidly.
Right.
But it was situational too. You know, it was funny. I graduated high school. My dad had like left my stepmom in the middle of the night. No, he went to work and just never came back. My stepmom and I did not have the greatest relationship, right?
Did you live with your dad and
I lived with
stepmom, or
my
your
dad
mom
for
and
a hot second, right?
Okay.
Like my mom and I, she'd kick me out, I'd leave, da da
Okay.
da. Just like passed around a little bit. So I was living with my dad. And my stepmom didn't care for me much. And my dad just like adios amigo. Doesn't take anything. Just goes. Turns out he'd had a lady friend and he'd just made a plan for his own life, which was fine. Good for you, guy.
Right.
Living to 100%, I guess, whatever. But so this woman was kind enough to get me through my high school graduation. And she was like, you got to go.
Yeah.
You got to go. Okay.
Yeah.
So I loaded up my crappy 93. No, I'd got a new car. 93 Grand Am.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a little leaky
Yep.
in
I
the sunroof. That's fine.
Yeah. Man.
And loaded up as much as I could. And I lived in my car for like a couple of months.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like taking showers at a friend's house,
Huh.
doing whatever. I guess there was probably a couple places I could have went, but I just felt like I'd tried that and it just didn't work real well.
Yeah.
So rather than be a burden, I was like, I'll just figure it out.
This is just after high school.
Yeah, just after high school. And you know, there was this lady in town that couldn't pay me a lot. She was just going to pay me cash. And she just paid me like $10 a day, $10 a day. I don't even remember. My car wasn't good enough to get anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But Margie Schick gave me a job at the junk store uptown.
I did not know that.
And I'm going to get emotional about it because she
God.
saved my life. She saved my life.
Too.
And she gave me this little bit of money for just moving junk around. I just didn't really do anything because I was so lost. I didn't even know what to do.
Wow.
And she was like, I can't pay you a whole lot, honey. But if you want to come help me, I can give you some money. I know. I'm sorry, Scott. I'm sorry. But anyway, so I worked at the junk store until I got my car fixed. I lived at Valley View, right? The low income housing in town.
Sure.
I was like rough. Like I didn't want to live there. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be this person. I wanted to break these generational curses.
Yeah.
And she really catapulted me because she was like, I'm giving you what I can give you and I believe in you and you can go do something better. I'm sorry, Scott. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get you all in your feels today, but you know, I mean, really, it was a pivotal time for me because I got my keys to my apartment and I was like, no one can kick me out of here. No one can make me leave.
Wow.
No one can hurt me here. No one can abuse me here. Like,
wow.
It's not the best place to live.
Sure.
It's not where I want to live forever.
But it's better than where you were.
But it's better than I was having.
Hmm.
And it's my own. And I'm making it. And I'm going to make it better. And I'm going to do it harder. And I'm going to go and I'm going to just prove everybody wrong. Like, you know, the people in town that see my mom or know my family, know my dad's family.
Sure.
And they're like, these are nobodies. these are trash.
Yeah.
This is the juice under the dumpster.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bet,
Yeah.
bet.
Yeah.
I have a chip on my freaking shoulder and I have something to prove to y'all.
Man, I love that.
So,
I did not know that.
yeah,
Ah,
that's
man,
how
that
that
got
story
me.
started. I'm sorry.
That
I'm
got me.
sorry. But that's how that started. And from there, I met my first husband and he had a great family.
Yeah.
You know, it was like everything that I didn't have. It was weird.
Yeah.
And he was exactly what I needed at that time.
Yeah.
And I went through nursing school, got my degree, worked in nursing.
How hard was that? And I asked that because number one, I know how hard that looks from,
Well, your wife, you know, you've
from
lived
that,
it.
yeah, from
Yeah.
that support person's side. I
Yeah.
also know how hard it is to go back to school,
Hard.
as a person who did not have people that had done that before.
Yeah.
You didn't know what it looked like. So I want to
No.
know how
My
hard
dad
that
has an
is.
eighth grade graduate or,
Yep.
education, eighth
Yep.
grade. The man is, I mean, he's a great guy, but he can't he's just not articulate. He can't spell.
Sure.
It's just, and my mom is actually super smart. Mental
Yep.
illness, drugs,
Sure. Yep.
he's just robbed the opportunity. So, yeah, I had gotten married. We'd had Aiden. I was not in school, and Aiden got sick right after he was born with RSV
Okay.
and almost died.
Wow.
And I looked around at these ladies taking care of him. I was like, oh, I can do this. I would love to help somebody like this.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had a 1-year-old and I got into both programs. I applied LPN, RN, and I got accepted to both. And I found out I was pregnant with our second one.
Yep.
Surprised,
Yeah.
like, oh God. And they just encouraged me not to start. They said, don't go through this program. You're not going to make it. You're going to have a baby right in the middle. And then you're going to fail out. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to
I'm
graduate
going to show you.
and I'm probably going to rock your socks.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I'm going to make good grades.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill it because that's who I am. I'm like, oh, I can't do it. Oh,
Yeah.
just wait now. So yeah, I had preterm labor. I was going to the hospital. I was doing all this stuff. I had him right around Thanksgiving and had 1 week off with my baby and took my 2-week-old baby because it was like 1 week extra from the break.
Mm-hmm.
2-week-old baby to daycare.
Wow.
And pumped in the car on the way to the school. And I mean, it was just like nuts. It was nuts. And I graduated. I did everything I wanted to do with nursing, but like, it was just really, really tough. And I was like so proud. And that was a great career. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But like, I think that like I married my first husband. He was what I needed.
Mm-hmm.
Nursing was what I needed.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't who I really was.
Sure. I get that.
And who I was at 18 wasn't who I was at 30.
Yeah.
So at close to 30, I was just like having like a quarter life crisis.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. But it's prestigious, right? It's
Absolutely.
everything that I thought that I was supposed to do.
Yep.
To break the generational curse. I'm doing on paper what looks so good. When people look at me, it looks so good. I have these 2 kids. I have this nice house. I have this husband.
I got a title.
I've got a title.
Yep.
I'm doing all these things.
I'm a professional.
Yep. And it meant nothing. I mean, it meant something, but it didn't mean what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can either keep searching and keep changing jobs or trying to get another title or trying to add on some more accolades onto this career, or stop.
Right.
Don't put any more effort into this because nothing's making it better.
That's what I was getting ready to say was your internal happiness was not peaking.
I was just being sucked dry. And
I
it
can
looked
relate.
so good from the outside.
I can relate.
Nobody knew.
Yeah.
Nobody. They were like, when I said I brought it up to my ex-husband. I said, I think I'm going to go to hair school. And he's like, you're just go PR it. Just work whenever you want. Just stay home.
Yeah.
He was like, just stay home.
Yeah.
He didn't want me to go be a hairdresser.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I think he just thought I was like losing my mind. So going the way of my mother, I'm like, but he's like, give it 6 months. Work part-time for 6 months. It's
Yeah.
just a phase. If in 6 months you want to go be a hairdresser, we'll go sign you up. 6 months and one day, bro, I was writing a check to the beauty school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
As you were talking, I was sitting here thinking, oh my God, I don't know that I've ever really verbalized my career arc.
You've made an interesting transition in life too, but I love it, brother. I'm a fan of yours.
It's
I'm a fan of. Listen, there are people that I don't ever like really like. We don't have to articulate it out loud, but I'm solidly watching people, right? Like I'm a people
Right.
watcher, and there are some people that I'm so just like, do it,
So
do it.
I want to connect. You were talking about my mom, and so
Yeah.
I want to talk about
Sorry about that.
a story. No, I appreciate. Listen, I absolutely adored my mother, which I believe translates to how I love Jennifer, and I I I love hearing stories about my mom. Love hearing stories about my dad, and I think it's important because it's a reminder, you
Oh, dude,
know.
of how many people they touched and how
Ugh,
freaking good they were.
dang man.
You know, it's
So
like you didn't even know. I could see in your eyes when I said it. You just looked at me like, "What are you about to do to me right here?" And
oh, I knew what
I
was
didn't
going to happen.
listen. I didn't have a plan of what we were going to talk about. I had nothing in my mind of what I was going to tell you. I was like, "I'm going in
I love it.
like stepbrothers,
That's the way
dude."
it's supposed to
I'm
be.
here.
Right. That's the way it's supposed
I
to
was just
be.
going to go in.
So Jennifer and I started dating, and then she became pregnant. I was living in Florida um, not long after, so we were together, and I moved to Florida to work for Sean Jenkinson, George Wilson, and I moved down there with Rob Hess. We were living together, and um, when I got down there, the plan was eventually Jennifer was going to come down with me, and we were going to create our lives down there. And a week after I was there, she called and said, "I'm pregnant," and I said, "Okay." Then I'm now transitioning to where I'm making a plan to move back to Blackford County, and there was a quick conversation about, no, I'm still coming down there, and I said,
Oh, your
"Come
family's
on,
up here, dude. If
all our
we could have this
support, everything,
baby,
we need to be
you
there."
got to be around the
And
people.
so I started making that plan. By the time I got back to Hartford City, I had 78 cents in change in my pocket
Yeah.
when I got here, and I had some debt over in Montpelier for a rental I'd had over there that I just kind of bailed on, and so I got that taken care of. Had some connections, got a job out at Bailey, which is now something else. I can't think of the name of
What
it.
is it now? It's been 70 things, but
Yeah,
I know what you're talking
you know what I'm
about
talking about.
because my stepmom worked there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Carrie works there. Carrie's like number 3 on the list.
Right. Yeah. Carrie's the top
She's
tip of the
you talking
spear.
about a success story. That lady has
You know what?
overcome.
When I
So
think
proud.
about Carrie and Bill, do you know how proud I
Oh,
am of
man.
Carrie and Bill?
Dude.
Like and that's another thing. I'm not talking about it out loud, right?
Right.
Because Carrie wouldn't want me to be
Absolutely.
like,
Yeah. They don't want to.
dude, nothing. Nothing makes me more
Yeah.
impressed than people with just
It's
the
stamina.
inability
Grit.
to stop. It's grit.
That's
I
grit.
talk about grit. Grit is not made when
Man.
things are easy.
Grit
Grit
is
is not made when things are easy. Grit is doing the things that you don't want to do
right.
and doing them anyways.
That's right.
And doing them
You
well.
got to do it.
And just keeping doing them.
Yeah.
And
Well,
that is what grit is.
It's
Yeah.
no instant gratification
No,
involved in
you're
developing
solidly
grit.
just doing something that you
So
have to do. Yeah.
I go to work at Bailey, and didn't have a car at the time. Like, I didn't have anything when I
Dude,
got here.
I know. I wrote a check to Marsh one
Right.
time. I
And
was
you
on
knew.
the bad list,
knew.
bro. I was 18 with a checkbook. This was dangerous. I had $0. I bought like and I was living out of my car.
Yeah.
So I
Oh,
nothing refrigerated.
absolutely.
I bought like bags of chips,
Yeah.
couple of 12 packs of Dr. Pepper maybe or something. Maybe some candy bars. I don't even remember. But I knew
That wasn't going
that
through.
was not going through.
Yeah.
That is a rubber
Yeah.
ass
Oh
check,
man.
and I'm gonna have to write it because I'm starving.
Yeah.
I'm starving,
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna have to do it.
Uh, been there,
And you
right?
know what? I went back and I paid that off,
That's right.
and I did the things that
You
I had
owned
to
it.
do.
You owned it.
Yeah.
So, got to get through this
Yeah.
one.
Sorry. Gosh,
No, it's
we could
okay.
listen. We're
I
like,
know.
yeah.
This could be epic journey.
It is
And
an epic
listen,
journey already.
the reason I planned it for the time we did because I knew there would be a timer
Yeah.
involved,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yes.
I just I know how this all works. But so I'm working there. I ended up buying a car for my brother. It was like a '74 Olds '88 green.
Love the old 88.
Man, that thing was a tank, but it was on its last leg. It actually belonged to Don and Janine Fisher at one point, and it's sitting in their driveway. And then my brother
Okay.
Joe bought it, and then I bought it from Joe, and I drove it. And I'm at work one day, and there was a guy I worked with named Martin Henderson.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Martin,
Man,
is,
listen, stop it right now. Martin is such a moron. Go on. Go on.
He's, hey, Schick, I'm gonna go to the store and get something for lunch. Can I use your car?
Oh,
Listen,
what did Martin do to your car?
Dude, I'm 23
Did
years
he wrap
old.
it around a
He's scared. Like he just scared the shit out of me from the time I was 16.
Martin was a moron.
So,
And I hope he hears this.
and he'll probably won't. I
He
don't know.
probably won't. He's in the bayou of Louisiana.
Oh, is that where he's at?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
my
that's crazy.
sibling's
That's
dad. He's
so-
not mine.
Right.
But yeah.
I
Anyways.
knew that's a great place for him.
He lives in the bayou where he belongs.
That is where he belongs.
He's a
It's
swamp
great fit.
creature, and I love it.
So he takes my car out to LD's, which is now whatever the North Wing,
or
whatever it's called.
Come and stop and go and
Yeah. So he goes out there to get lunch. It is second shift, and it's not like that car was dependable. There's 300,000+
Don't
miles
take
on
it anywhere else.
So he drives it out to the deli, and I told him, I said, don't shut it off, until you get back.
Yeah, just leave it run.
Just let it run. So he goes out there and I say, hey, grab me a 32 ounce while you're out there. Well, Martin comes walking back in. I see him walk back in, and he's only carrying one 32 ounce. I'm like, dude, where's mine? And he goes, oh, I had to use it to dump it on your carburetor because you had a fire under the hood.
Yeah.
Like nothing happened.
No, he's so nonchalant. Let me tell you. So my mom was married to Martin. Okay. And let me tell you a little bit.
This is what I just found out like 2 days ago. I did not know that.
If you want a snapshot into my life, okay, this is going to be a quick one because we could unpack an entire series of, it's Lemony Snicket.
Yeah.
It's series of unfortunate events.
Sure.
But my mom was married to this man, and he was nuts. Brilliant, but also just as crazy as my mom. Like they were a force. So Martin, in some sort of stupor, we had a lot of cars you had to add water to.
Mm-hmm.
You got to carry the water in the trunk.
Absolutely.
That was our life. We always had water.
Yep.
But he had a Volkswagen, like van.
Okay.
Piece of crap, whatever. He went out there with a Sawzall, and he cut the top of it off. And he's like, this is a Van Gogh. And that is all you need to know about Martin. He solidly just was wild.
Yeah.
He would his dad lived up in Wisconsin, and we would go up there. And listen, the rest of them are not as crazy. Okay, solidly not as crazy.
Sure.
And his dad had a garden and had a problem with a mole in the garden. Whatever. Gopher, mole, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Some little creature.
Yep.
Martin sat on a bucket drinking Bud with my mom's pillow for her booty after she'd had the baby, a little like donut pillow they give him, on his head. Smoked, just drinking. Caught that thing, bit its head off, and spit it into the bucket and was like, got it. I can't make it up. My life is stranger than fiction. There's so many stories that are just like along this vein. And it's like, how are you even in real society functioning?
You hear that voice in your head going, how the hell did I get
How the hell did it work?
How
am I doing what I'm doing?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Martin Henderson. That's a name. That's a name that I have not thought about in a second. And
Well,
I
there you
like that
go.
you brought me a blast from the past. It was a lot of trauma, but it's
I'm
also a
sure.
lot of, listen,
Yeah.
you got to have a sense of humor about it.
Yeah.
I laugh. Nothing serious. Nothing in this world is that serious, right? Like, I have the darkest humor. You know, the girls in the salon. Lizzie's an only child, kind of, and she's been to Disneyland 75,000 times, probably, right, or something. I mean, I think she's got an older sibling, but she's a baby, and she'll be like, "Oh, tell her story," and I'll be like, "I drove my mom to Meyer at 3 a.m. when she was drunk, so she could buy DVDs, and I was 12." And she'll be like, "Hmm."
We went to Disneyland.
We went to Disneyland a couple of times. We have like different experiences, and I like to like kind of throw them out there, like a shock, kind
Yeah.
of.
I
And
get it.
nothing
Yeah.
brings me more joy than to see people's faces, kind of like, I'm like, don't you dare feel sorry for me.
That's right.
That was meant to be funny.
That's right.
That was meant to be funny. I said that humorously.
Isn't that it? So as a teacher, kids would throw out the your mom, and I would deadpan my mom's dead,
Yeah,
and they would
bro.
look at me
Dark.
like, oh my, I'm so sorry, Mr.
Oh, you
Schick. And I'm like, hey guys,
homina. Yeah,
listen,
they
man,
just don't know what to say.
my mom had an incredible sense of humor.
Yeah, she would have loved it.
She
She
would,
was so
she would,
funny.
she would not have thought that was funny.
She wouldn't have thought that was
But
funny, but she would have thought you were funny.
yes,
She would have liked that you were razzing the
Scott,
kids.
Scott, don't do that.
Don't say that.
And I could hear her. In the,
Don't say
don't do
that.
that. Don't.
No, yeah.
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 So it's interesting when I do hear people complain about their upbringing, and I think my brothers and I were pushing our trucks to get them started as we left the rummage sale.
Oh yeah,
You know?
you got a chip in your flywheel of your '88 Ford Escort with no hubcaps.
Bingo.
It stops right on the freaking Highway 3 at the
Yes.
stoplight, and your friends are like, "We're going to Muncie to the mall," and you're like, "My car's a piece of shit, bro. I've never been more embarrassed in my entire
I'm never
life.
taking this car out of
I'm
town."
never taking this car out of town. This car's going nowhere."
And you end up with your own business.
And I have my own business now. And you know what? Good for me.
Yeah, it is good
I'm
for
killing
you.
it.
I love it.
I'm killing, and I'm not killing it in a way like I'm not a multimillionaire,
Right.
but I define success so differently. I'm not out there. Girls look on Instagram, hair girls, young girls, and I tell them all the time, you're looking at the 5%
Right.
or under.
Right.
You're looking at girls. The internet is curated.
Absolutely.
The internet is curated. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. Because here I am in Hartford City, and I don't care. I'll talk about anything. I'm in Hartford City. There are 6,000 people here.
Right.
I shouldn't be that successful. And maybe to other people in a bigger town, I'm not that successful. But I'm doing so good.
It's a matter of perspective, isn't it?
I've got a nice house.
Right. You got some control.
I've got some control. I drive a car that's dependable.
Right.
I can go to the grocery store without looking at my bank account. I'm winning.
I was on my way back from Elkhart yesterday, and I'm in my truck, and I'm like, "Dang, dude." I just got done talking to my brother about the Martin Henderson thing.
Gosh,
And
that's crazy.
and so I was like, man, I think I remember Ashley's mom, but I don't know if I remember Ashley's mom. And he's like, oh, she was married to Martin Henderson for a while. And I'm like,
If you went to the Keg and Kettle, my mom served you a drink.
There is no doubt in my mind, I know who she is.
Yeah.
But I just don't know who she is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The amount of time I spent in the bar in the 90s, no doubt in my mind.
You weren't just like remembering the bartenders.
Right.
Right.
I mean, so and I'm driving and I'm like, God, man, I think about the times I had to push start our family truck. Our family vehicle was a 64 Chevy dump bed truck.
Yeah.
That was our family vehicle. You know, that's what we got. My mom got around town in. Margie Schick is driving this stick shift
dump truck. I can see it in my brain because
truck, man.
we had it. I mean, I feel like the common human experience is so much more. I always say we're living parallel lives and we just don't know it.
Sure.
Because there were so many people that are just like you and I and just regular people. And the internet has ruined that because we don't see that.
That's true.
We don't see that. We think that we are living the worst life ever. Or we think that, you know, people think,
Oh
oh, it's so
man,
bad. We're not doing like these
dude.
people, or we're not doing like these people, or
Somebody posted we live in a third world. The United States is a third world country. I'm like,
bro,
listen, man, I grew
no,
up with people who lived 5 houses away from me who had dirt floors.
dirt floors.
That's in the 80s and 70s
Listen,
and 80s. We do not
it's
live.
so
And I
good
know
right
there are people
now.
that have that now.
No.
I'm not arguing.
Socioeconomically, the environment of our community is not great. I think that there's a lot of need out there, but I think that there's a lot of need. There's a lot of like need for like mental health programs.
Sure.
There's a lot of need to help people help themselves.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Stories like yours are what they need.
yeah, because I needed that story.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I needed to know that someone from my economic level and someone who had a similar story to me had successfully done what others and what the world tells us
The
that
kid driving the Trans Am with the Jordans on is not who I wanted to hear that from.
right.
I wanted to hear that from the kid that had to walk to school and their hair froze.
Bingo. Y-
Like, you
Jennifer
know.
Jennifer was that person for me. She was that person that showed me you can do this. You
Yeah.
know, we her and I have very similar planes of existence. She
Right.
was in the country and she's growing up on the farm. I was growing up in the city, but very similar planes of existence. Youngest kids, parents didn't graduate from college and worked
Yeah.
and that type of thing. And as I saw what I saw her doing, I was like, same thing as you. I can do that. I
Yeah.
don't know what I'm going to do with it when I get there, but
It
I can
doesn't
do
even
that.
matter.
Right.
Sometimes that journey is so
Oh
powerful in
man.
healing your trauma.
I re I
This turned into a deep psychological episode and I'm very sorry, but honestly, it's so connective into business. It's so
it really
connective
is.
because I think that when you heal this trauma and you break these generational people's
Sure.
curses, I think that you then open up the opportunity for yourself to say, I can do anything.
I've
My
been
grandpa's my biggest dude. He's gone. He's been gone for a while now, but this guy believed in me. He believed in me to the point that he gave me disgustingly good self esteem. I mean, top tier self esteem. I think I'm great, not in a cocky way,
yeah,
but I'm never betting against myself.
confidence versus there's a line.
People will say,
There's a
oh, you
line.
are too much. I'm just enough.
Man,
I may be too much for you, but I'm not
you ain't
watering
even
myself
seen
down.
how much.
I could be more. I
It's like
could be
there's a
more.
commercial out there that says, I ain't even I got brains I ain't even used yet.
Dude, I tell people I'm a lumpy potato, but I'm the cutest little lumpy potato you ever saw. I have no self-esteem issues, babe.
I was telling Mike Wine a couple weeks ago that, I struggle with confidence. I struggle with it. And I not as much now as I did previously, but as you continue to prove to yourself, I can do it,
Yeah.
your confidence level grows.
Yeah.
And there's a humbleness that comes along with it though too, because you realize as you experience successes in your lives, no matter how big or small,
Right.
there's also the number of times you failed
Oh, bro.
that are a reminder of the journey that got you there.
I talk about the failures too. You got oh, not every split decision that I've made has been a good one. Okay?
Yeah.
Not every single thing I've ever done in life I'm proud of. You know, I people are like, "Oh my god, you have so much energy. I wish I had a quarter of the, you've always got something going." And mental illness, just spite and mental illness. That's all that keeps me going.
Yeah.
It's manic depression,
Yeah.
babes, but mostly manic. It's fine. But through all of that, I have screwed up so much that now I'm like, failing doesn't even bother
Right.
me like it used
Right.
to. As
Sure.
long as I gave it an organic effort, I was all in. I wasn't doing it for somebody else, and I learned something from it. I can take an L.
Yep.
I can take an L all day long. I
Yep.
can take an L in business. there's been some times I've like thought this is going to go over great, and it has fell like a rock.
Do you wonder sometimes? I feel as though I understand the long game. The older I
Oh,
get,
yeah, you're always winning in the
as
end.
in your 20s, I've got to have it now. And my friends have
No,
it.
listen, this is the
My
thing I
mom and
was going to
dad,
talk to you about.
whoever have it, but I don't have it yet. I got to
Yes,
have it. I
that
got to
is
have it.
one thing I was going to talk to you about. People want in their 20s what their parents had in their 40s,
Right.
but they don't have the experience and they don't have
They're
the
not
work
ready.
ethic
They're
and they're
not
not
ready.
ready for that. You can't, I don't understand where these kids are buying these houses. How are you getting this money, bros? Where is this money coming? I didn't have that kind of house when I was
Do you think
21.
it's ignorance on our part because we don't know someone who has done it?
No,
You
I
don't think
think,
so? I think
I
that.
don't know.
I think that to myself of was I just not creative enough to find the funding?
To
So
go into
think
deep,
about
dark debt,
20 no,
to
but
rob a
listen,
bank. I don't know
26
how I
days.
would have done it.
You took 26 days and created a
I
business.
know, but like in my early 20s, I had exactly what I needed. And it wasn't what my grandparents had after working in a factory for 40 years.
But does it have to be that way? See, this is what I'm
Yes.
talking about. Does it? Because this
Yes.
is what I'm
I
talking about
no,
when I say I'm a
listen.
middle person, because I can see where I just don't understand how that happens. Doesn't mean that it's not going to work for them.
I think that young people in business can kill it. I think they can kill it. I love that.
Sure.
But I think that you have to then humble yourself down a little bit, right? Be confident, but you have to be humble enough to know that you haven't had enough life experience to really know what you're doing. Like you can be successful and just not know what the hell you're doing.
So this is that part where what I was saying earlier,
Because
where
these kids,
I
bro,
can see
these kids,
this
these kids stress me
crazy
out.
side over here. I can see this crazy side
No,
over
no.
here.
Sometimes girls will like girls that work for me or that I've been around. They'll say, "Oh, I can't wait till my book's full like yours," and I'm like, "You don't work like me.
They're not ready.
You're not
They're
ready.
really not ready for that.
You're
If they're asking, if they're saying things like that, they're not ready for it.
they don't work like me.
That's what I'm saying.
They don't. You can't.
That's
And if you're prioritizing being at home or living a good life or getting off at 5 or not working on Saturdays or
right,
whatever, you don't want your book to look like mine.
right. But let's say you had a 20 something that they wanted your book to look like yours.
I give him the sauce. I give him the recipe. I give him the ingredients.
And they go kill it.
Good. They follow directions and they are unstoppable.
See what I'm saying?
But that's a unicorn. That's another unicorn.
I get it.
I feel like kids now, you see on the old Hartford City Happenings, my favorite page on the internet for all of my entertainment needs. I just solidly get on there and just laugh.
I have considered just doing like a Wednesday
Hartford City Happenings update.
podcast.
Dude,
Yeah.
just like read it off like a hot list.
Deadpan it.
Yeah. Today,
Yeah. I'm gonna
somebody's
keep
mad
talking.
about
I'm
the
gonna pull one
brown
up.
water.
I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna find
Somebody's
one right
mad
now.
about this brown. What is this brown water? Every day, it's like, and the water department will come on and be like, "Listen, we had to repair something. It's just a little sediment." And they're like, "The brown water is killing me. Do not drink the brown water." Well, no, you might want to run your tap until it's clear again, bros. Also, the brown water isn't killing you. You're moldy. They're like, I'm not bathing my children in this, and they'll put a picture up. Scott, I'll say it with my chest voice. I don't care. Their bathtub with their mold is killing their babies more than the brown
Right.
water.
Or yeah, come on,
Bro,
man.
the brown water's not your problem.
Listen, just there's a spray can,
Spray can.
and you can just spray that.
Scrubbing bubbles.
Right.
Scrub
It
the
does 90% of the work. You are
Also,
going to have to do some work if you've got
you
active mold growing.
dude,
You
your
can't just
bathtub is
scrub bubbles.
black. That's killing your children.
Oh wait, here's something free by the road.
What is it? Is it
it's
is it a Pottery Barn table?
No, God, I wish I'd be down there right
God,
now.
we'd be fighting over it.
Well,
We'd be
wait till
rock,
I show
paper,
you this
scissors.
table.
I want to see it.
I'm gonna show you this table. Today's special. No, that's missing all Tavern. That's not really Hartford City, and we get into that one too.
Yeah.
Um,
Why are they
I
posting?
sure wish people could keep track of their dogs a little bit better.
Me
Looks like
too.
it's been a minute.
Me too.
Looks like it's been there a minute, but someone what used to be a beautiful
Stop. I'm having a stroke. You can't. No,
I've got.
I can't.
I'm correcting things as I read.
I'm
Hold
going to
on.
have a stroke. Habita, 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 habita.
I sure wish people could keep track of their dogs a little bit better.
I do too.
Looks like it's been there a minute, but someone's what used to be beautiful dog is dead on the side of the road by the Autumn Ridge
Dang.
Trailer
God
Park.
dang, where's Autumn Ridge? Is
If you're
that by
missing
Park
one,
Avenue?
maybe if someone wanted to claim that poor thing and maybe give him a proper burial, that's what I did with my cat when she got hit by a car.
We
The
don't need this
dog looked to
information.
be a light
We don't need this
medium,
information.
long hair, gray brown dog, and it was not Richard.
Stop it.
I do hope they find Richard.
Dude, Richard stresses me out a bit, bro. No, so what I do with
I love
Hartford.
Trenton Rain. I love that kid.
No, I don't even know the kid, but I love him because he is looking for his dog, man. It gives me,
He's a great guy.
I don't care. But what, so business in town, and I'm a business person, and somebody's going to listen to this and be like, what a bitch. And I'm going to be like, I don't care. Because I speak with my chest voice.
You're gonna say, you know me.
You know me.
Okay.
You know me. You love me. I'm not taking new clients, so I'm not out to impress anyone. My girls are lovely, and they aren't like me. They're sweet Christian girls. And then there's me.
That's why I thought it was interesting when Maudlin came to work with you.
Dude.
God sent her.
Ebony and Ivory.
Literally.
Literally.
I love that lady.
Yeah. No. So Hartford City happenings. I'm gonna give a few pointers. Number one. Things that are op-ed, right? Things that are opinions do not belong on Hartford City happenings. Don't do it.
Do we need to create a new page, Hartford City Opinion page?
I think they
Would that be
do. How
appropriate?
many shit posting sites are there about Hartford City? I mean, honestly, here's and this segs into
Oh my
opinion
God,
number
this
one. The opinions don't belong on there. Also, if you hate Hartford City, leave.
So
We don't want you here.
I
love Hartford City.
dedicated listener and former guest, Steve Hurd, not from Hartford City.
Yeah, but he lived here. His kids went here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they went to school with my kid.
Currently lives here. And he continually asks me, why do people bash Hartford City? And I said, what are you talking about? I said, and I hear it. I've heard it
Yeah.
all my life.
I invite them to go somewhere else and think they're going to have it better. Every town has problems.
I've lived here and I've lived in Madison. And
Madison.
And sure, from the outside looking in, Madison? They have the same
But they
pages.
have drugs. They have the same drama. They
things
have
going on. Only difference is they have people complaining about their historic district that is so well managed that it is the tourism that drives that city and keeps it alive.
It's kind of annoying, probably at times. I could see
From an outsider who comes from a small city who would love to see this historic district take ownership and do what they've done.
Yeah.
That's not annoying to me. What's annoying to me is people complaining about the thing that is keeping their city populated.
So here's the thing. Solidly don't walk on my grass. I'm an annoyed old man out mowing my grass 3 times a week. I don't.
Your home? At your home?
At my home. Don't go on my property.
Yeah, I'm surprised that neighborhood doesn't have a sidewalk.
It needs one.
It really does.
It really does. Also on Hartford City happenings, if anyone's listening to this.
No one listens to my show.
I'm going to make them. I'm going to make them at least my podcast episode.
4 dedicated followers.
No, you're going to have more. I'm going to pimp your ass out. I am going to make this successful. By God. You're going to make me a regular guest because I'm going to boost your viewership to the moon.
Wednesday show.
Yeah, it's just talk shit. No, Hartford City happenings, folks. I love a lot of you on there. I love it. And please continue the entertainment value. Please stop complaining about the brown water. Please stop complaining about McDonald's. McDonald's is trash. Stop. Just don't go there. Or go there and solidly know if you go at night, the young boys that work at night, kill it. I don't know if they're out there.
That's interesting.
I don't know if they got the munchies and they're making all the food right. I don't know what's going on. They're killing it. It's good. It's hot. It's fresh. It's nice.
Awesome.
During the daytime, you're going to want to reach your arm through your window and yank that person out of the building.
I literally have pulled in to fast food restaurants. I get hangry.
Same.
So
My blood sugar goes down and I'm a different person.
I don't know if your boys ever told you that I would literally, I don't know if I ever had them
Yeah, you did.
as fifth period people.
Oh, no, maybe not that, but they love you.
Well, I appreciate that. But I would tell my students, hey, I would have my dad deliver food to me sometimes because I knew,
You were going to get real shitty.
yeah, because I hadn't eaten breakfast that morning, and then I would have lunch duty. And if what was happening at lunch, I wasn't interested
You
in,
were yanking kids around. You didn't have time to eat too. Like,
so I would tell them, hey, I apologize, but if I don't eat, Scott's going to show up.
yeah, Scott's
Listen,
not Mr. Schick.
you guys don't want to know him.
No.
He's someone very
I
different,
have an alter ego too
you know.
when I get hungry.
But I get hangry. So I've been on the phone with Jennifer before where I've said, God, I'm starving. And, maybe I'm an hour away from home.
Get
And
me something.
she'll say,
Yeah.
well, just pull in and get a sandwich.
No,
And
I don't have
I,
the mental energy for that.
I
Oh, we're
don't,
still good on time. I'm
because
solid.
I know that I would be so disappointed. And I would literally will tell her that.
I know.
I will be so disappointed when I get my food and I eat it and I'd pull out of here and I'm like, why'd I do that?
I tell Brian, start the oven because I'm going to need a Marie Callender's chicken pot pie. And I'm not going to be home until 10:15, and it's got to
Right.
cook an hour
Right.
because I can't do it. I can't go through the
Right.
the slop.
So knowing that,
But
I don't pull into McDonald's.
here's the thing. Sometimes it's good and it'll play me. And I think, oh, they're cleaning up their business. I like this.
No.
And then, so I went one time and I ordered a Big Mac because who doesn't love a Big Mac?
Sure.
It's delicious.
It's a yearly thing.
But I don't like onions.
Yeah, okay.
I don't like the onions. So I'm like, gonna get a Big Mac meal, large, Coke, no onions.
Mm-hmm.
And I pull around and I'm the only one in here. Okay.
Yeah.
Hartford City McDonald's, post remodel. This is important. Okay. Pull around. I'm the only person. There ain't a soul. There's nobody in the drive thru. There's nobody in the parking lot. I am it because I'm like putting in the grease of the late night, right? So
Absolutely. That's when the fryers are best.
yeah, I need them to be a little dirty.
That's right.
I'm okay with that.
That's
You
it.
give that ice cream machine a swipe and
Dude.
hook me up. But I said, got up there and I played myself because I said, are you going to send me to the third window where Meek's Mortuary picks folks up at? Played myself because I got home and I opened my Big Mac and it was a half inch of onions. These assholes. They did not have a sense of humor that I had. I was like, yeah, that's where I feel my soul leave my body. When you forget me out there for 40 minutes.
Exactly it.
I feel my soul
terrible.
depart. Rest in peace.
So
Meeks,
what'd you do?
come get me.
Did you go straight to the internet or?
No,
Oh, okay.
no.
Well,
I
that's
said,
what most would
no,
do.
listen, I deserved it. You know why? Because I ran my freaking mouth. I deserved that. Those kids were like, bitch, bet,
That's right.
bet.
That's right.
What? You know, onions? That's fine.
So
No, I didn't run to the internet because there was no need.
you knew.
Even if it was wrong, there
You
was no
already knew.
need.
You already knew.
Even if my water's brown, there's no need. Because you know who I call? The person that can solve the freaking problem,
Right.
which is not the internet.
Right.
Now, if I see a wreck and the road is not passable, right?
Right.
Hey, you might detour around 3. There appears to have been a wreck and they're working on it.
Sure.
It doesn't look good. Doesn't look like you're going to get through any time. So you're going to take Cherry or High Street. I would advise High Street. Cherry has a lot of stop signs.
Yeah, it does.
And if you're even smarter, you'll go down to Jefferson or Monroe.
Yeah.
They have less stop signs.
That's right.
I could be a traffic cop for Hartford City. Or like,
Nobody needs that.
yeah, just I'll tell you everywhere that's blocked. I'll give you that live. I could be like Fox 59. I'm giving the weather or the traffic report. It's fine. But you don't have to complain about it. And if you do complain about it, the proper place to complain about it is on
The
your
shit show.
own Facebook account where no one's reading it.
I thought you were going to say on the Chic Show.
No, not on the Chic Show.
Oh.
I'm saying do not complain about things that are not changeable.
Well, and that's tough because
Or complain about them on your own thing where no one's going to read it.
so easy.
Or where people that like
It
you.
is so easy to get that attention, to get validated.
I'm
That's what they're
shameless.
looking
Have
for.
you seen my Facebook?
I haven't.
post
So
I post obnoxiously, Scott. Honestly, I'm embarrassed sometimes of how much I post. Sometimes I'll look at my social medias and I'm like, you're a whore.
Jennifer will tell me about different people's like Facebook feeds.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see so and so? Or
Yeah.
do you read? I get on there so rarely. For one, that I don't see it. Two, I have a lot of people that I switch out who I'm following
Right.
on
Sometimes you
about
just got to like change it up,
yeah,
switch the
about
algorithm.
every 3 to 4 months. I will go in and I'll go block but stay
Seeing a lot
friends.
of these people.
Yep.
Seeing a lot of
Block
these
but stay
people.
friends, block but stay friends, block but stay friends. And then maybe 6 months later, I'll go back in and go, oh, I haven't heard from so and so for a while.
Oh, that's
Click,
because I
unblock.
muted them. Yeah, that's because
Yeah,
I shadow banned them.
that's it. But I'll go back in and I'll open them back up just to see how they're doing.
So you take a little different tactic. When I'm on the internet, people say you're on the internet all the time. No, no. I'm solidly playing the ding dong ditch of social media. I go, I post, and I run away. And I don't care.
Oh, so you don't look. You don't look to see what's
No.
going on.
Dude, I do a Wheel of Fortune spin. And whatever I see is what I see for the day. And sometimes it's usually Hartford City happenings. Where is Richard?
Man, that poor dog.
I gotta find it.
Um, I do something. I don't do something similar. I am the collector in me still lives,
Oh gosh. Yeah. I
and
love
when I see someone post something that is just egregious,
that.
I will dig into their lives.
Oh, you're an FBI agent.
I am
No,
I'm a skip tracer, and
no,
I will find out about.
I'm also a
I've
skip
got to say this
tracer.
because I've told someone that I will say it eventually on my page,
I
and today is the day.
Today is the
I'm
day.
not naming
Yes,
names,
I
but I
love it.
am going to say what I have to say, and the person that I've told this about will know who I'm talking about
I
if he
love
listens.
it.
I will find out about the time that you scammed a little old lady down in Florida back in the early or mid 80s. I will find out about the felonies that you have over in Ohio.
Wait, wait, wait,
I will
wait, wait.
find
I
out
have a
about this stuff.
parallel
I will
story.
find out about the guy that you're now currently doing business with
Scott
that
Schick.
also was busted in the 80s for security scams. I will find out about those things, but I won't name names. So
Stop it. Listen, listen. Can I tell you a similar
I can't
story?
help myself.
We have we're living parallel lives,
I'm
sir.
not perfect. There are
No,
things out there about me too. I'm sure.
I
Google
tell
me.
my own stories. I don't let anyone tell my
Heck,
stories.
forever
Do you know why?
on my scottschick.com.
You can't get on me if I tell my own stories.
Right? See, that's it. It's Eminem. It's the Eminem effect.
I'm a
What
moron.
you gonna say now?
What you gonna say now is I
Right.
just busted myself out for being a complete idiot. I'm an
Right.
asshole and I told you I was.
Right.
I never lied
But
about it.
but when folks are so
Oh,
obnoxiously
listen.
just
You don't
obnoxious, I
follow my
can't help it.
Facebook. And so we have a
No.
parallel story.
Oh God.
Oh God, about the same. I knew who you're talking about. So we have a parallel story. So I think I'm funny. I do. I think I'm funny. Maybe I'm not like
I'm the
Dave
funniest person
Chappelle.
I know.
Exactly. I'm not Dave
That's it.
Chappelle. I'm not there. I'm working on my comedy skit, but I'm not. But I made a joke on the internet and it was a la Mean Girls.
Okay.
And it was just a thought about a thing that I saw in my neighborhood when I pulled into my neighborhood.
Okay.
It was this neighborhood. We lived in the same hood. I lived
Oh,
down
you
this
did
I
live
lived
here.
down I lived down the way. And
Where did you live?
I lived down you know where the house is for sale? Down in the cul-de-sac? Seminos. So I made a funny joke which was literally just a joke cuz I don't take anything seriously. Okay? That's what you have to know about me. I don't care. I just say things with my chest voice
Yeah.
because I don't care. And I said, she doesn't even go here. And like made a joke about it because it was graduation time
Yeah.
and it was all over. And the person didn't go here anymore, didn't live here anymore.
Yeah.
And somebody saw that and got into my DMs of my, oh gosh, wrote a sonnet of George R. Martin length to me. It was a damn novel. And rode me raw about this joke. I did not understand the contributions that this person had made for the community. I did not know the financial aspect of what came to this community because this person, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I mean, called me everything but a white fat girl, which it would be factual. Okay. And I didn't take it well. So I was like, do I know this name? I do know this name. Where do I know this name? Okay, get on the internet. Oh, I worked with his wife in another town. So I got on there and I said, I wish you liked your own kids like you like this one. And maybe you should pay child support.
Oh. I like it.
Get out. Do not.
Right.
Do not.
Right.
Because you could have just breezed right on by that.
Right.
But you chose
Right.
silence. And I will my case you. I will stalk down a deep rabbit hole of socials. I will beacon you. I will call people that I think may know you.
Right.
You're not ever going to get away from me. I will become your neighbor. I'll buy a house beside you.
I like it.
Like, please don't leave me alone.
Yeah.
I am not bothering anybody. It doesn't
That's
bother
right.
me. I'm not malicious.
That's right.
Do not bring your problems to my doorstep.
That's right.
I'm living my weird little life, reverse engineering,
Yep.
and I love it.
I like it.
But I will skip trace you.
Yeah, if that's what's required. I mean, like,
And
I
it's
don't
not
even
always
know if it's
required. Sometimes but
It's like,
occasionally it's bad enough. You're like,
come on.
you're like, you're not even allowed to leave the state without permission, bro.
Right.
Right. Don't come at me. I'd hate to hurt your feelings, little
Right.
feller. Then he saw where I said, I think I hurt this little feller's feelings. And he was like, you don't know what you've just started. And I was like, I think I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what I started.
That's right.
Yeah. I speak with my chest voice, my guy. You're sending me DMs and I'm putting it on my page. We're not the same.
Right.
Yeah. So people love me or they hate me. I'm killing it.
That's
And I'm okay. And I want them to kill it too.
right. And that's just it. I'm not out here looking
No.
for issues, but if issues present themselves,
We might have to talk about it.
right.
I
And
have to have a conversation.
I don't want to have to. But don't DM me.
No, don't put me.
Don't do
Don't
that.
put me in the message center.
Years ago, I had to go out and collect on an account on someone that was from Hartford City. And I went out to their house and I was very nice to this lady. I was never a dick.
Because
when
it's like not your problem, really.
not.
It's just your job.
And I went out and I said, hey, here's what's going on. I'm here to help.
Right.
That was always my approach. I'm here to help.
Right.
Let me help you and we'll find a way to work together and get this taken care of. And this person took it very personal, called my home phone.
No.
When they called my home phone, I said, I'm going to give you an opportunity because I'm going to hang up right now and you're never
It
going
never
to
happened.
you're never going to call my home again. We're going to act like we don't know each other and we've never met. I'm coming to get your car, and when I go pick up your car, we're done.
And I think that's the incestuous thing about business in towns like this is that people will think that they know you better than they do, or they will think they have a right to access to you
Sure.
more than they do.
Sure.
Everyone's entitled to privacy. Everyone's entitled to do their job and go home.
Right.
I mean, I'm available all the time for people. Like, but I say, like, if you message me, it's gonna take 24 to 40 business hours.
That's it. I'm a 24-hour guy.
Yeah.
So I had a policy as a teacher, as a principal, that I will respond within 24 hours. Number one, it gives you time to. I would get a lot of emails and a lot of messages and phone calls, and not all of them were great.
Right. Maybe
And
think about it.
it gave me time to process it and go from "Are you fucking kidding me?" to "All right, I can see."
I call this my 72 hours of rage.
Okay.
I give myself 72 hours for emotion. I give myself 72 hours to be angry about something.
Yeah.
I give myself 72 hours to feel very sorry for myself. I give myself 72 hours to feel like rolling on the ground crying.
That's interesting.
And after 72 hours, this is a big thing. Everyone knows about me that is like intimate into my life. After 72 hours, I have two choices. I have to get the hell over it, or I
Yeah.
have to come up with a solution
Yeah.
to deal with it or to solve it.
Yeah.
So 72 hours really gives you a perspective. It's enough time that you can wallow in your feelings, which is allowable. You're allowed to feel your feelings.
Absolutely.
But it is also enough time to give you perspective. And I'm a rager. If I call you at hour 1, you're going to get a very different Ashlee than if I call you
Oh,
at hour
absolutely.
72.
Sure.
I've had time to think it over. I've had time to process it. I have created a list with bullet points. I have fact find. And now I'm prepared to destroy you.
Right.
But 72 hours gives me the time
Or repair
to
it.
do it or to repair it. But it gives me
Right.
the time to logically, not emotionally, come to something. Because I
Right.
feel like you're much more respected as a business person, as a mom, calling the
As a human
school.
being.
Yeah, I had an issue with the school,
Yep.
and I arranged a meeting with David Parker, who I think is great.
Yep.
He's a great dude, man. He's on it.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Very well respected.
Very well respected, and I respect him, and I don't respect a lot of humans. So there you go. That's my plug for David Parker for president. Sorry, David Parker. I know you do not want this attention from me. You don't want my name anywhere around you, but no.
Every once in a while, I'll have to let him know that, hey, your name was mentioned in my podcast.
Yeah. Hi, David. Everything's going really good. If you're listening, you're a great dude. But I came to him and I said, this is my problem. This is the facts supporting my problem. I am still very mad. I'm still emotional about it. I'm very emotional about it. But I have these things that we need to get through. This is my list. These are my concerns. And he was like, direct speech. I appreciate that,
Yep.
I was like, yeah, I'm direct as you get.
Yep.
Now, then he said, I did hear that you said you were going to burn this building down.
Yep.
I said, yes, I will admit to that. It could have been just me, like I'm going to burn the program down, like not like physically.
It was hyperbole.
Yeah. Also, it could have been, I want to take a match to this place. And I may have said that out loud. I'm not going to burn it down because I'm not going to do well in jail.
I often wonder if that's the craziness that comes out of broke folk.
Dude, once you've hit the bottom, nothing is worse and you have nothing to lose.
Right. I've been there.
So you just throw your cards on the table.
I've been there and I'm not afraid to go back.
I'm not afraid to go back.
I know that life too.
I smoked half a cigarette a day and ate macaroni and cheese. Bro, I was putting a cigarette out and relighting it.
Smoking Cavaliers.
Dude, I don't even remember.
Like $1 a pack back in the
I'm so glad I gave that habit up, but I miss it so much.
Oh, sure. Man, I struggle with it daily.
Oh.
Yeah. Like
to just not kill people.
Yeah.
And just to be by yourself.
Yep.
But also death.
Well, I'm very thankful I don't have to be reminded of my own mortality every time I take a breath and not go.
Well, I wasn't. Yeah, I was having the weird smoker thing happen, and then COVID happened, and I'm a germaphobe.
Oh wow!
Whoa!
Oh yeah! Well,
gotta quit smoking because I'm gonna die. And then I got melanoma, and I will tell you, melanoma is just about a death sentence sometimes. Yeah. Like it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
And mine, thank gosh, he said I had to reschedule a dermatology appointment during COVID, and I went back. And this is another reason why I just do whatever I want. Right. Honestly, in business, in life, because he said we would have had a very different conversation in 3 months.
Interesting.
And I now go to the dermatologist every 3 to 6 months for the rest of my life. And I've had 23 biopsies since COVID. I literally used to go to the tanning bed and then I'd lie and say I hadn't been to the tanning bed and go in the afternoon because my creases were African American colors.
Oh my God.
I was just as tan as you could be, and my teeth were just as white as they could get, and I was living my best life. But I paid the piper.
Yeah.
So I could have died.
Yeah.
So what do I have to lose?
And you're all good?
I'm good.
Good.
I'm good.
Good.
Yeah, cancer free.
Yeah.
Love that for me.
Yeah.
And for my kids.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Right.
My kids, man. It's all about my kids. So I quit smoking. That's why I don't do the stupid stuff that I used to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard something on a show I was watching the other day. Right now, Jennifer and I are streaming Hightown on Stars.
Okay.
Great show. It's based in Hyannisport, Massachusetts, somewhere in there. But anyway, and it's about small town.
Yeah. I love the small town.
The lady made a comment, and man, every once in a while you hear something really smart. And there was a guy who's addicted to heroin, and he's an addict, and he had went on a binge. So here's this young mom, her and their baby, and a friend. So the friend and the mom are talking on the porch, and she's like, "Do you know where Junior is?" And she's like, "Yeah, he's down at the Walker." And she says, "I'm going to go down and talk to him." And the mom says, "I made a promise to myself that I would never bring my daughter around him when he was messed up." And I'm not going down there. And she says, you know, and this is a guy who had recovered and now he's back. He
Yeah.
realized he's using again. And she said, well, you know, he quit for you. He quit for you. He quit for the baby. He did all that for you. And she said, I know you're trying to make me feel better, but all that says to me is I'm not enough.
Yeah.
And I thought, man,
Deep.
as the person who was the smoker,
Yeah.
um, boy, that's really powerful to me. Hearing something like that from, and I'm air quoting, the
Right.
victim in that scenario. Because as a smoker, my wife and kids were the victim of future me dying of cancer.
Yeah, exactly.
And to know in my heart of hearts, I did quit, not just because of them, but I quit because I didn't want them to see what I'd seen with my grandfather and with my aunt.
Oh yeah.
I did not want them to have to pick me up out of the shower and me
Oh
saying,
yeah.
you know, hey, just I'm ready to die. I never wanted that to happen. And so it was for them, but it was also for me. And I think for it to be long-term healing, it has to be for us as
Oh
well.
yeah. I listen,
There has to be a selfish component.
selfish a little bit because you know, it's like I can't breathe,
Right,
I stink,
right.
it's expensive.
This is costing
This is
me,
costing me. This is costing
and
me
it's
so much.
really going to cost me
And it's
long term.
yeah, and the health benefits are just so crazy. But I also like my big kids are going to be okay.
Yeah,
Right? They're adults now.
yeah,
Barrett is living with me forever
yeah,
because of his special needs.
yep.
And I have to live like actually forever.
Right.
Cuz I don't know what was going to happen with him.
You're right.
So I have to just live a long time. So I was like, "You know what? No drinking at home.
Yeah,
If I go out, dinner, have a beer or not beer, but I'll have a drink. Special occasion, whatever. I don't drink casually anymore.
hmm,
I don't smoke. If I really feel like I'm going to kill somebody, I do have an emergency vape, which I feel like is better than going and buying a pack of Marlboros. Okay? It's like emergency vape or Smoke Town. I'm just putting a lit cigarette in every orifice, dude. I'm like, okay, this is better. This is better. Yeah, everywhere. It's just a plume of smoke coming
yeah,
off of me.
sure.
I'm just enveloped in
Yeah.
smoke. So yeah, no.
Emergency vape.
Yeah, the emergency vape, man. Sometimes you'll, I'm gonna cure somebody. So yeah, you got to just do that. But no, I'm like in a really good place.
Good.
So
Well, I think that's a great transition because
yeah,
I'm dying to know what's next. What's next for the salon? What's next for the Veridian brand?
I had a dream that I blew the sidewall out and expanded. But you know what? That's not next because that's dumb. That was my dream, but that's not real. No. So right now, I'm just wanting. um, if you ever go in, it will never be the same when you go in again. I constantly change out decor or I move something or I add something. So it's always interesting. I like that like talking piece of like you don't know what it's going to look like when you come in next time. I
Sure.
love that. So I'm going to finish up on the decor. It got cold and I had to stop painting the
Yeah.
exterior at 3 a.m. like I was
Yeah.
doing because I got 24 hours in a day and I use them all.
You were too.
I use them all. And I really just want to develop the girls this year. I want to get them at like it's not my deal because we're all independent contractors.
Yeah.
They booth run off of me. So they're masters of their own destiny, but I love them
Yeah.
and I just want them to be so successful.
Yeah.
So really it's development, just getting our name out there. I'm refining a few processes of my own. I really want to elevate the experience. I really, really, really am looking into doing like some luxury hair washing.
I thought you were going to say some really nice furniture.
Oh.
Dang it! I thought that's the furniture rep in me.
Yeah, no, I love that. Unless you carry slightly gothic. So no,
You would be shocked.
also in a small town, Scott, I have to say this. You have to be impermeable. Like you cannot have an armor chink, right? Like you
Right.
have got to just be strong because I will tell you, I don't know if you have ever had anything bad said about you.
Oh. Never.
I've had a couple of bad things said about me, but I will tell you, as a small business owner, my biggest flex is that I solidly don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Like, I love my girls, and everything I do is geared towards their success because I'm okay. I'm good.
and you have to believe that
Yeah.
to a level of
Wow.
it just doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't.
I know what the goal is. I know what the focus is. I can see where I'm going, and this person that said this or said that.
You can bother you a little bit.
Sure.
I mean, internally, not too long ago, somebody said that my salon was satanic.
Oh, good Lord.
I don't know if you've been in my salon. You should come to feel the Child Sacrifice Tuesdays. Like, no, it's not satanic. It's just weird.
You have like Taylor Swift stuff on your walls or something?
No, but I love Tay Swift.
Yeah,
Did you see that? No, you didn't because you don't follow me because you aren't cool. But no, I got floor seats to Justin Timberlake,
uh-huh.
and I'm really excited about that. And nobody else is because they're all young and they don't care about Justin
Right.
Timberlake. But I love Taylor Swift too.
Yeah.
I'm a very pop culture.
He has become that in between from my age of folks who were into
NSYNC. I've loved Justin Timberlake since he had ramen noodle hair.
I've never been into NSYNC.
Oh man. I know we had a
glare that I'm giving off right now.
I know that we had a different genre of music. No, but you know what's so funny for me?
Only boy bands I'm into are Metallica and Slayer.
I like it. I like it.
Those other boy bands.
I have a very eclectic music taste, so I'm into everything.
I am, and I'm a Justin Timberlake fan.
Give me some
He
Soundgarden.
was just in a movie not too long ago, and he wasn't even recognizable in that movie. I was like, son of a gun, that's JT.
Yeah,
I mean,
I love him.
when he pulled that bra off of Janet.
I'm going with another nurse just so that she can resuscitate me.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good for
yeah.
you.
I'm
I
excited.
think he's an in between. So he could connect with those 80s, and he was able to bridge that gap. And now
The young babies in my salon don't know.
Now he is old enough to bridge that gap with the T Swifts of the world.
Like the girl, like I was real excited.
But then again, Taylor Swift's been going after this thing for
She's been a long
man, we gotta
haul.
be
Long haul.
16, 17 years.
Yeah. No, it's I've liked Taylor Swift ever since she moved from country.
Yeah.
I did not like her as
You
country.
didn't?
No, I'm not into country. I'm into old country like Garth Brooks and stuff, like
Yeah.
his old stuff. And like
Was you a Chris Gaines fan?
no.
Okay, just checking.
No.
That was a quick no.
No.
Okay.
I like Garth Brooks, Johnny Cash,
Yeah.
George Strait,
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
Nothing new.
Waylon Jennings.
Yeah,
You into
dude,
the possum?
I can jam out to it. Like,
George and-
and I like some bluegrassy type stuff.
I
Like
love
that's
bluegrass,
cool.
man.
But like, if you would send me through a lineup and it was like Florida Georgia line
No,
or
it's not
like
my
even like Kenny Chesney's too new.
I don't like Kenny. I've never been a Kenny Chesney.
No.
Not that I don't like.
And what's the
I
weird
don't know
short guy
Kenny.
from Australia that thinks he's a country?
Keith Smart?
Keith Smart. No, that's a black singer.
No, Keith Smart was the guy from IU that hit the winning shot in
I thought
'87 or
Keith
something.
Smart. No.
That's Keith Smart.
What am I
Keith
thinking of? That's like an R&B singer.
Keith Urban.
Keith Urban is the country guy from Australia, isn't he?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. That guy. No.
Okay.
That's a solid no.
Yeah. I don't even.
You know what I'm real mad about? The Queen has tried to transition to country, this Beyonce country
What?
crossover.
No, she did not.
Have you not heard it?
No.
I'm solidly challenging you
on,
to listen to
man.
these two
I
songs she has
do
out right now.
not.
I
I've got to write them down. What are they?
Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages. And that's probably a pin from your place. Is that a
No, this is a pin from a company that I met with out in North Carolina.
Well, their pins are junk.
I won't be doing business with them.
They are good, but their pins are not good. You are
No, this is
scribbling
someone I
hard.
do business with on a regular. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So
Texas Hold'em.
Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages, and I want to love everything that Beyonce does, and I am not a fan.
Yeah.
No,
No.
it's terrible.
And I
It's
like
catchy.
Beyonce. Like
It's catchy, but it just feels like you put Beyonce with a country track in the back.
don't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
No, you're slaying at what you do.
Kid Rock did it.
Ugh.
'Cause he said it out west, sucker.
No.
Gonna be a
No.
cowboy, baby.
Listen, oh God. Oh God.
Hey, listen.
We're done.
We are.
This is where we're ending it because
We have to.
we're going to get into a fight.
No, that's okay. It's
No,
okay.
you're middle of the road. We're not going to get into a fight. You're just going to look at me awkwardly until I
Well,
stop talking.
I will. and eventually I'll say, do you feel better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I took my 72 minutes of rage.
And I'll say something like, I'll label it. I'll say, it sounds to me like,
Wow.
but I won't say I hear because
Administrative
that would be,
talk. You've went to a conference or two.
it sounds to me like you think I'm sitting here as an administrator.
If you say forward focused, I'm going to slap your face.
No, what was it? Let's touch base.
Oh, let's circle around.
Touch base, circle around. It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Whoa. You want to fire me up? You want to get me actually incendiary?
It ain't what it is. It is what it ain't.
No, I am not a pajama mom. I solidly don't walk into that school with Tweety Bird sweats and no bra.
Come on, man.
Listen, this is where these guys mistake me. They think they see my tattoos and my pink hair and they think I'm highly uneducated, and I am not. Please do not treat me like a pajama mom. I hate that.
Man.
Don't give me that.
I was called
small
smug the
talk.
other day. Someone called me smug.
I love that.
I don't.
Why?
Because I'm not prideful.
Ah.
I know where I came from.
You know who?
I haven't forgot who I am.
You know who talks shit about me? People that hate themselves.
Well, I don't believe this person hate themselves.
People that say bad things about other people unnecessarily. Like, you didn't do anything to this person.
I didn't.
That is only a reflection of how they feel about themselves.
All I did was make a comment about their Taylor Swift being part of the satanic church. I said, come on, man. No, my response was, here it is. And I put a Richard Simmons gift to go along with it.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, I see you struck a nerve. I'm like, not really, but dude.
Come on.
That's just below us.
There's a few things that I stand on hills on, and we're not going to get into that because we're leaving.
Right.
But if you get me on a couple of subjects, I'm always going to be like, Claire.
Right. I mean, why do that?
Don't come at me for this.
We have so much more depth to us than to make claims about Taylor Swift being part of the satanic church. To make comments about what's the girl, her and her brother make music and she was really hot. Like
Billie Eilish?
Yeah.
I love
There were
Billie
comments
Eilish.
about her being devil.
Listen.
I'm like, come on.
And I love a good conspiracy. I love a good conspiracy that does not hurt people.
And I said something about that. I said, not everything is a conspiracy theory. And they said something, that's where I got the smug comment, because they assumed that I was calling them a conspiracy theorist in a negative connotation. I do not have a negative connotation towards conspiracy theories, because I do believe there are conspiracy theories.
There's a grain of truth in a lot of things, but I think that if you're going on a character assassination of someone that you do not know, why?
Taylor Swift?
Why? Who cares? You know what? Maybe they are all lizard people.
Man, all I saw in my head when I see all this crap about her is some dude sitting around eating a bag of Doritos. And I say this, and I'm going to paint a very specific picture, because I am the guy who will sit around with a big bag of Doritos and a thing of jalapeno nacho cheese from Frito-Lay.
Frito-Lay, jalapeno cheddar.
And I will eat that entire bag.
You ever done it with Munchos?
No. Oh. I will use my finger to get that last bit of cheese.
Yeah, don't put your tongue in there. It's sharp.
It will cut you. I've been cut. I'm that guy. And then I'll go hide all the evidence in the trash can. And then Jennifer will go throw the trash out and go, when did you have Doritos?
Don't talk about it.
You know?
Jennifer, just ignore it.
Right.
Just take the trash out, babe.
I mean, I had, and she listens to my show, Ashley. So here's some real me. I had to go buy a new tube of, and I don't buy Toll House.
I love your wife, by the way.
I don't buy tubes of Toll House cookie chocolate chip.
Because you eat it without baking it?
Yes, but I make it from scratch. I would.
Oh, yeah, you know what I mean? No, solid. Yes.
But she went and bought some,
and you ate it all.
She's going through some stress, and so I didn't.
Oh,
because she had a couple cookies from it.
Okay, so yeah,
she regrettably had a spoonful of raw cookie dough.
She had 2 cookies, and I ate the rest.
So yesterday I had to go to the store because I looked in there and there's a half a tube left. And I was like, there's not enough to really quantify me starting the stove and making the rest of these 8 cookies that might come from this thing.
Yeah.
And but I know that there's limitations that come with it because you only then have 8 cookies. So I, thinking ahead, went to the store and bought a new tube of chocolate chip
And
cookie
you
dough.
smash the half.
And I ate the other
Yeah.
half while I made the entire tube.
It's acceptable, actually.
And
It's
then
a
I
gift
threw
of
one of them
love.
away and I didn't tell her that I'd went and bought a new tube of it.
So Jennifer, I'm going to tell you, you still got your cookies. Anything else past that is not
I don't know if she ate
negated.
any of them because I ate the rest of them this morning. It didn't look like any of them were gone.
She's a strong woman. She's stronger than us. She's stronger than us, buddy. She
Hey,
is stronger than us.
thank you so much for coming on.
Hey,
Like,
thank you for
we have
having
so much
me.
more to talk about too.
Yeah, part
I'm
2.
excited. Yeah, so I'll let you know when I push this out. It may be as soon as Sunday.
Well, Maddie was like, when is this coming out? Because she knows all the ridiculous stuff that we talk about in the salon. So she
Yeah.
was like, I can't wait.
We haven't even got into salon talk.
No, not really. This got into a weird psychological
Well,
journey, but it's okay. It was good. I actually enjoyed it a lot.
good.
Yeah.
Well, I did too, and I always say that my show is therapeutic for me, and it
Yeah.
always is. There were realizations that were happening in there where I was like, I never really thought about it that way, and that's what I mean by I'm a middle guy. I'm not afraid to say,
Oh man, I'm such
That's
an
something
asshole,
new.
but I love to hear other people's.
right?
I just love to hear it.
I don't really love to hear it, but I love to impart it into my life.
Even if I'm not going to
Yeah.
ingest it. I just want to know why you believe you're crazy. I just want to know.
We're all crazy.
We're all crazy around here.
Thanks so much. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening in. We're out.